Hello everybody and welcome back to Mutti Plays Legend of Zelda the Minish Cap. Today we are actually going to progress the plot a little, and to do that we must first speak with this Minish. I said speak with this Minish, not fuse keystones with it. Oh, a visitor, how rare! But you have found me, the wisest of the wisest of the wise. You what? You want to enter the Temple of Droplets? I have heard rumors that one Minish actually did find a way in long ago. That Minish is Elder Librari, and he is in semi-retirement in the town library. The library should be opening soon. Perhaps you can go find him. And we are going to do just that. First I derp and forget that I can warp now with the Ocarina of Winds. So I warp to the town and where are you going? There we go. And off to the library. And you see those masks? Yeah, let's remember that little trick for later. And up the stairs. Sometimes these books move on their own. I've seen it, and don't tell me I'm crazy. I've seen it. I probably messed up the... But I do like the little voice clip they had for him. Nice touch of crazy. And now we go to the bookshelf and oh my gosh, there's Minish here. And this one will explain to you that they can't get to Elder Librari without some books. And oddly enough, that one book has grooves in the binding. Something I've gotta wonder, are the grooves large enough to be noticed by humans, or what? Because like I'm sure that if a library were to receive a book back in less than favorable condition, especially if that condition involved grooves in the spine, they would get mad. But anyways, off to speak with the librarian to see what's up. Welcome to the library. Say, aren't you Smith's grandson, Mutti? The book's missing from the bookshelf on the second floor? Yes, they've been checked out for quite a while. They're very overdue. Take a Hyrulean bestiary, for example. Been gone for ages. Checked out by a girl with a cat. She said she had a new cat at her house. Wanted to learn more about it, she said. She did. A girl with a cat? I like her! She has my tastes in pets. And we drown. But seriously, we need to go to the water to swipe up some water in the bottle. And we roll over to this house right here. Put out the fire, and that's the girl that borrowed the book. And she's going to say you're a really good librarian for going to fetch it. And she tells you it's at her house, and and so we flip this Minish portal and we shrink. And we go up the fireplace we just extinguished. And now we're in her house. Whoa! Did you see that cat looking at me? I know it wants a piece of me. Say, look at that, Mutti. There's a book up on top of that bookcase. But how are we going to get it? We can't reach it, and we have no ladder. And I don't think just shaking the bookcase will make it fall either. This presents an interesting problem, wouldn't you say? There's a ladder right there. Ah! That really startled me. Everything's scary when you're small. Now, that last little comment may seem out of place, but, as you can see, that cat's moving around right there, and, if you are unfortunate enough, you will be in the cat's path and it will swipe at you. Don't know why, cats probably just think you're delicious when you're the Minish size. What is it, Sheepa? I know you want a kitty, but I'm recording right now. Don't be such a baby. You've got all your food and water and your litter in here. Hey, look at that! Our long-lost copy of the Hylian Bestiae. And I forgot I fast-forwarded the parts where the next overdue book is, let's see. Ah, yes, of course. Legend of the Picori. It's been out forever. It was checked out by a somewhat absent-minded scholar, I believe. And we're gonna need another helping of water, so grab the nearest bit of water from the river. Yeah, sheep. And go into this portal to shrink down. And excuse me for a moment. And cross that bridge and don't drown. And go talk to that dog if you haven't already, because he'll be blocking the path he'll be blocking the path unless you talk to him as a Minish, so be sure to get that out of the way. And now we go to the Doc's house. I am a researcher of Picori legend and lore. My name is Dr. Left. You'll hear about that book, Legend of the Picori, aren't you? Well, I hate to say this, but I haven't seen it in several days. Perhaps a mischievous little mouse has taken it. Well, I'm sure it's in this house somewhere. I just don't know where. But I'm very busy right now, so why don't you just look for it yourself? Put out the fire. Go back to the carpenter's building. Shrink down and make your way back to Dr. Left's house. And you are going to want to talk to this Minish. She will tell you of something that appears to be a little legend that the Minish have cooked up. What? You want out? Fine, I'll let you out. Just don't expect back in. And anyways, make your way over to this area. And we cannot jump across those gaps right now. I'm not sure if you can the other way. I don't think you can. And get past the cats and over the fountain, and you are now in here. And keep that in mind, we're going to grab it later. I think. Well, yeah, you probably are. And I notice I'm a bit low on hearts, and there is a fairy in one of these pots, so I flippy flippy flip flip, and now I'm back to full health. Which is going to be especially useful is because, well, monster rush. Not as many as with the bow, but still enough to be considered threatening. I think. Well, meh. And now that a big chest has appeared, we open it, and we get the power bracelets! Which means that now, when we are Minish-sized, but wandering around in the human-sized areas, we can push objects that we normally would not be able to push, like that box, in our Minish form. So now we make our way back to Dr. Left's house. And we are going to push his drawers so that we can get up there to that little bitty hole in the wall. Pull out your gust jar and be sure to clean up all the dust you see here. Because you see that book that the Minish is standing on that's wobbling and stuff? Yeah, we're gonna need to help her out a little. Use this set of panels to create a clone and make your way quickly to the book and line yourself up with the Minish and whoa! You made the book fall down. And yes, that is the right book. The one that we need. And now we grow. And now we go back to Dr. Left's house. And we pick up the book. Why are you... Yeah. Now that the dog's moving around, we can actually go here. But, if he's blocking the way and you're right next to him, he will not move because he probably thinks you're trying to talk to him or something. And the last book we still need is A History of Masts. I think it was checked out by Hagen, the mayor. How could he keep a library book so long? He's a public official. Well, just because he's a public official doesn't mean that he can't forget a thing or two. 100. That was a bit delayed. And remember that trick I showed you in the library? That's what we do here. Basically, knock down the masts, which will give you rupees, and you will uncover a hole into a Minish room. Ahem! Yes, that's me, Hug. I did not... Dang it, me! Why must you be so impatient about reading text while you're playing? shrink and make your way up here. And then talk to these two Minish. The mayor took off for his cabin by the lake, clutching a book. We saw him go, but when he came back, he didn't have the book anymore. I'm sure he just forgot it at that lake cabin. Yes, he is forgetful like that. You want to go to the cabin by the lake? Well, let me just mark it here on your map. Yes, it's right here. You should be able to find it now. And basically, in order to get there, we must get to the section of the Minish Woods that has the Witch Syrup's hut. So we shall be going there. Yeah. Roll. Kill that Octorok. And whip out the mole mitts because this is the little bitty cave that we gotta go to. And if you noticed the ladder in the last part, good for you, you have a really good eye. And where does this ladder bring us up? In Lake Hylia. Yay! And we go in here, and we see the book on top of there, but we can't quite get to it, so we go to this tree, equip the Pegasus boots, ram into it, and now we can use it as a Minish portal. Equip the Gust Jar because it's another lily pad thingy. Push, 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 all the way over to the other side. And use the lily pad to get out of the little inner pond. Push the shelf over and push the book off. And now to exit the way we entered. And on this way through, you should be a little bit careful because those things pop up. So, though sometimes when they would knock me off of the lily pad, I noticed that the game respawns you back on the lily pad, so they knock you off and the gust pushed the lily pad further and then you're away, so it's like, thanks for the little boost, guys! And now we warp back to town. And now we go to the library to deliver the final book. Would you look at that? I can't believe it! It's our copy of A History of Masks. That mayor of ours is a real piece of work, isn't he? It must have been quite a challenge to get this back from him. You are my new favorite person, Mutti. Thank you so much. You know, Mutti, you've now returned all of our overdue books. Now I can finally get that bookshelf on the second floor in order. Hey, Sturgeon! Books to the shelf! Funny how it's spelled shelve when it should be shelf. Quite fast for an old man. The bookshelves are back in order. I feel so refreshed, renewed. Enjoy your browsing. And now that we have returned all the books, we are going to call it a part. Next part, we are going to crawl around the bookshelf and progress the plot even further. Yay! See you then.